interesting.
Wow.
But you travel this much, surely everything's not all positive. What are like the worst travel stories you have?
Oh, geez.
I'm sure you've had some pretty interesting experiences.
Well, I think overall, I really shouldn't complain because I mean, most of the travel goes pretty well, but probably the worst travel, I think probably the worst travel experience by far was, I work a lot with Orbis as a volunteer, but also they told me I work with them too much, so they want to pay me. So I'm a consultant too.
Consultant for Orbis.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
what is Orbis for those people listening who don't know?
Yeah.
What
So
it is?
Orbis is an NGO, non-governmental organization based in the U.S. who has the Flying Eye Hospital, which has the one OR and the recovery room, and then lasers and a lecture hall all on the plane. So the plane goes to various places around the world and sort of parks at the airport for usually 3 weeks. And the typical thing they do is we'll have volunteer faculty, 4 per week, come in. So you come in for a week, you'll do some lectures on the plane, do some cases on the plane, but they always partner because the plane's not big enough to really just see a lot of patients. They partner with the hospital in that city, and then there's a whole hospital program. So the hospital program is like 5 times bigger than the plane program, but the plane is, it's kind of sexy and it's a cool thing. So,
what are you lecturing to on the plane? Is this like recording presentations or?
No, the front part of the plane, right behind the pilots, is they just have the regular plane seats, but they have electronics and stuff so that you can give lectures. And so people from the hospital, the doctors, will come and to the plane for that morning to listen to lectures, for instance. So we did a program in Dhaka, Bangladesh, 2 years ago, I think it was, and no problem on the way there, but on the way back, there were a bunch of us on the same flight, and we were all going from Dhaka to Dubai, and then to make our connections. And so we're at the airport, no big deal, and we get on the plane, and I'm like starting to doze off, after 5 minutes, and the plane pushes back, and then all of a sudden it's like, we're not going anywhere. And so then the plane goes back to the gate. Oh, and the pilot says, well, one of our 2 engines won't start. Well, that's a problem. So he said, okay, so everyone wait, just we'll keep you updated. So, okay, we need a new part. We have to put a new part. Okay, but it's in Dubai. It'll get here tomorrow. So everybody off the plane. So we all got off the plane and went back. We all, of course, obviously had checked out of the hotel, and then with a really nice hotel, which wasn't available. So they got like one of these buses that I can't describe it unless you've been to Bangladesh. So they got us on one of these buses, and it's like an hour and a half back to Dhaka. And we got a decent hotel and went back they said, okay, come back, tomorrow because we're going to leave tomorrow. It's just the part has to come back from Dubai. So okay, we'll get to the airport. We got to the airport like 9 a.m. And then we're like, wait a minute, the plane from Dubai doesn't even get here till like 10:30, 11, and they got to put the part in the plane, right? So sure enough, we're all waiting there. We're all through security. We're waiting, and it's not a huge airport, and you could see there's big glass windows, and you could see there's our plane, right? And here comes the plane from Dubai. And then an hour later, okay, they got the engine cover open, and we're all just watching. All the people on the plane are watching them working on the plane. And finally, they close the plane cover, the engine cover. They say, okay, everyone. And we just walked out down the stairs onto the tarmac, onto the plane. It's like, aren't they going to test it or anything? And so anyway, we're just happy all to be on this plane. But now, the plane it's delayed some because they had to put the part in. And there are people, thankfully, my connecting flight was like 5 hours in Dubai, but some people were connecting to Australia or whatever. So we're sitting there and waiting. They close the boarding door. And I'm in the front of the plane, thankfully, next to the boarding door, watching them. And they close the boarding door, and I'm starting to doze off again. And then I wake up at like 5 or 10, and like the stairs are still there, the stair, because this is like a mobile stair thing that a truck, right? So I look out and at the thing, and there's oil like pouring out of the hydraulics for the stairs. So they couldn't move the stairs away from the plane. And if they can't move the stairs away, you can't back the plane up. So now everyone is like, I'm going to miss my connecting flight and Dubai. And it's just, oh. So what do? They find a forklift. And they bring this forklift over and put it under the stairs, lift up the stairs, and pull the stairs away. And then we left. That was the worst, because that was more than 24 hours delay and just a lot of stress. And this was after the whole week, and we're all like, everybody wants to be home. We're, Bangladesh is fine, but we're ready to be back home. And that was the worst, I think.
Mm-hmm. And that was all with Orbis.
Thankfully, it was, because the nice part about it was, if it would just have been me, which most of the times it's just me, I would have been back in the airport with I wouldn't know how, they organized the whole bus back and the hotel. So it was very nice that it wasn't just me on the plane, because it would have been a whole different story. It would have been way worse if it wasn't. And we had a nice dinner with the Orbis people and found beer, and, so it wasn't that bad. It could have been a lot worse.